Alright, today we're going to be dealing with union. Sometimes this is a U, or they'll put the word or. Okay, so in this example, we've got some choices to look between. First thing we want to do is plot a number line. And then we've got x is less than 2. That's going to be this one. And then we're going to have x is less than 5. And this is identical to what we did with the intersection problems. With the and, we found out what was in common. So if this was an and problem, the answer would be a graph that looked like this, because that's what they have in common. But this is an and answer, not an or answer. Okay, when you see the word or, what they want you to do is put both colors and count them as one. Put them together. So basically what I mean is anything that you see shaded will count. So everything from here over is shaded. So that means my final graph to that would look like this, because we integrate the two colors together. So I would encourage you, I'm going to change these up from time to time, and as I change them, I would encourage you to hit the pause button, try the problems on your own, and then see if your answer matches up with mine. And then sometimes what I want you to do with this is put this in interval notation. And the way we do that is, again, let me move this 5 straight up. We took the parenthesis, move that straight up as well. This arrow going to the left infers that the number is getting infinitely smaller. So that's negative infinity. And whenever you have an infinity sign or a negative infinity sign, it's always a parenthesis. So this is called interval notation, and there should be a comma there as well. Okay, so now what I want you to do is try this when these are switched around a little bit. So we'll move this one to the right, that one to the right, and go ahead and hit the pause button. Okay, so here's what you should have done. Make a number line with a 2 and a 5 on it. Make sure these are in order from least to greatest, because sometimes this may be on this side, this may be on this side. So for x is greater than 5, that's going to be this. And if you forgot our lesson that went over this arrow right here matches with that arrow right there. If it had a line underneath it, there would have been a bracket. Okay, then we have x is greater than 2. Okay, again, if this was an and problem, if this had the word and, you only count where the colors share. So an and answer would be that one right there. So the answer to your and problem would be this, if that word was and. However, since it's the word or, we combine the colors together, we count them as one color. So the answer to this is just going to be everything from 2 all the way over. We'll just count that as one color. And we can ignore the parenthesis at that point because it's going right through the parenthesis. So we're going to count the 5 as well. And if you're asked to put that in interval notation, it would be parenthesis, drop your 2 down. Don't drop your 5 down. I've seen people do that before. This arrow infers that this just keeps going forever, so that's going to be positive infinity. Infinity, negative infinity, both always have a parenthesis. throw a comma there. So that's the answer for interval notation. Okay, another example. So let's take this one and make it a less than instead of a greater than this time. So, my dog. So x is less than 2 is going to be that. X is greater than 5 is going to be that. And again, if you just think of this as having a tail on it right there, it makes sense of that arrow and that arrow match up. Okay, so I've seen a few answers on these type of problems. Generally, the thing that happens is people,
the male's here,
they say nothing is in common between the two, and then they say, so the answer is this right here. So that's what you do when there's an and there. However, there is not an and there, there's an or there. An or means you count both colors and just integrate them, count it as one color. So that means that this one right here and this one right here would be your answer. If this was an and, that would have been the answer, because and is what do the two have in common? They have nothing in common. But again, because it's or, we're going to look at this differently. If you're asked to put this in interval notation, at this point, hopefully you know that you drop the parenthesis down, drop the 5 down. Hopefully you know that this means infinity because it's going in the positive direction. And hopefully you know how to do the same here and know that this means a negative infinity. And whenever you have 2 or more of these in your answer, put this little symbol there. That means union. This and this are used interchangeably. So that's what you would do in a situation like that. Okay, one more example. And again, I'm encouraging you to push the pause button when I write these new problems down. Okay, so x is greater than 2. That's going to be this. X is less than 5. That's going to be this. Okay, if this was an and problem, again, and means what they have in common. So and would just be that right there. If it was an and problem, your interval notation would be parenthesis 2, comma 5, parenthesis. Since it's an or problem though, we count both colors, we integrate them together, count them as one. So that means the whole thing gets shaded, which we don't have an example just yet, so we'll just make it this one right here. Oh, I see what I did. I put 2 of the same ones up here. So, here, we'll do this. So this would be the answer to this one right here. And the way you would write that in interval notation for this right here would be negative infinity, positive infinity.